Okay, we're going to work on 2.6 today. The process is the same as what we've done the last few days. The only difference is the answer is more complicated. So I am going to do 8v squared plus 8v minus 48. Now, in our last assignment, we would factor out whatever we could. What can you factor out of 8v squared plus 8v minus 48? Can I pull an 8 out? Yeah. So we pull that 8 out. 8 times v squared plus v minus 6. And then we use the box. V squared, negative 6. Multiply those together. Negative 6v squared. Now, some of you are skipping this step. And up until now, that's been okay. And actually, moving forward, if you skip that step, it's okay. But today, we're going to do problems where you can't skip that step. This problem you can because that 8 came out. Are there numbers that multiply to be negative 6 and add to be 1? 3v and negative 2v. So I pull out a v, and I get v plus 3. Pull out a v, and I get v minus 2. So my answers are v plus 3. Oh, wait, 8. Sorry. 8 times v plus 3 times v minus 2. What if it said solve instead of factor? Right, did I mess up? Oh, sorry. Yeah. So if the problem says factor, then you're done. If the problem says solve, then you need to write equals 0 on all of these. Do I need to do that for the 8? No, because there's no v in it. Every v is an answer. So I add 2 and subtract 3, and I get v equals 2 and negative 3. That's a review, correct? Okay. What about this one? 8m squared plus 30m plus 7. Can I pull out an 8? No. Can I pull anything out? No. So it still factors, but my answers are going to be fractions. The roots are going to be fractions. At least one of them has to be a fraction. So you draw the box just like you normally do. And we have 8m squared plus 7. Multiply those together, and I get 56m squared. Now, in this case, because that number does not come out, you have to write the 56 or you're going to mess it up. Okay? I need to find two numbers that multiply to be 56 and add to be 30. So my choices are 1 and 56, 2 and 28, 3 doesn't work, 4 and 14, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Will one of those sets give me 30m? 2 and 28. So 2m and 28m. And you have to be careful here. It's a little more complicated than it was before. What does the top row share? Not 4. 2m. Does everybody see that? 2 goes into 8 and into 2. So I write 2m. And then I pull out a 2 and an m, and I get 4m. And what if everything comes out? Then it's plus 1. Because we're dividing. 2 divided by 2 is 1. M divided by m is 1. What if I pull a 4m out of 28m? I get plus 7. So the factors are 4m plus 1 and 2m plus 7. If the problem says factor, then you're done. But if the problem says solve, then you need to write equals 0. And how do I solve 4m plus 1 equals 0? Subtract 1. Those cancel. And then I divide by 4. So my first answer is negative 1/4. And then for the next one, I subtract 7 and divide by 2. And I get negative 7/2. This number right here is called the leading coefficient. It's the coefficients are the numbers in front of the variables, and the first one is called the leading coefficient. If the leading coefficient is 1 and you factor, your answers will be whole numbers. But if this number is anything other than 1, then one of these is going to be a fraction or both. In this case, they were both fractions. Okay, let me show you another one. 4z squared plus 4z minus 3. Can I pull anything out? Nope. So draw the box. 4z squared, negative 3. Multiply those together, negative 12z squared. Are there factors of negative 12z squared that add to be 4z? 6z and negative 2z. Does everybody get that? Okay. What does the top row share? 2z. So 2 and z. If I pull a 2z out of this, what's left? 2z, not 6, plus 3. And if I pull a 2z out of this, negative 1. So 2z plus 3 and 2z minus 1. If it says factor, then you're done. If it says solve, then you need to write equals 0. I subtract 3 and divide by 2. So z is negative 3/2. Or I add 1 and divide by 2, and I get 1/2. So you draw the box, you put these in their places, and then you multiply them together. Well, because before, all we cared about was this number. What multiplies to be this and adds to be that. But because there's a 4 here, we're no longer factoring negative 3. We're factoring this times this, which is negative 12, which makes the problem more complicated. So up until now, you could skip the box, kind of. But to do these more complicated problems, you have to have the box and you have to do the multiply. If you don't, then you're going to be factoring the wrong number. Okay? Does that make sense? Do you guys want to see another one? No? So your problem set is 3 through 27 odd.